My name is Ibrahim Al Muazzam, the founder and the president of Al Muazzam Foundation. Today, here with you to navigate through our theme of this year in regards to the second year anniversary of our blessed foundation. The theme is titled, as you all know, From Where to Where. Of course, yes, we've deliberated and consulted and observed to see what quota of discussion is worthy being discussed at this moment. And we found none being more worthy than from where to where. You know, all of us, everyone in entirety, we are all from history. We are all from somewhere. And he who doesn't know his history doesn't know himself. So let's flash back a little. Let's look at where are we from. Perhaps it will guide us through today and lead us through a better tomorrow. Well, I will be talking on the context of Nigeria and of course the situation of the society in comparison with before and now. And the before, you know, it has many identifications. The before can be yesterday, the before can be last year, the before can be before independence, the before can be after independence. But for me, I want to surround a little bit from independence to date. We are all aware that Nigeria got its independence 1st October 1960. And that time, Nigeria was great, my brother, my sister. Nigeria was great. Everything was going in accordance. Rules were there, obedience was there, and many other things. Moving forward, we come to a situation that those things begin to draw themselves back, or to say we begin to chase them away. Now, Nigeria that we are talking about is Nigeria full of chaos, full of problems. So if you compare like the time of independence and now, you will honestly rank the time of independence as a heaven, perhaps, a paradise indeed. Because today and then was a distant and a very far differentiated situations. Why was that, please? Why? Are we not to be moving forward when we are stepping in life, increasing in our years, increasing in our days, our hours, our minutes? Shouldn't we be increasing together with the increment in progress, increment in prosperity, increment in development, increment in growth? Why would we be exhausting ourselves, our energy, our resources, but not yielding anything from that? Why? And where are we heading to? So take the time of Sardauna aside, take the time of independence aside. Just look at the context of Nigeria in the decade that passed. We are currently in 2024. Please flash back Nigeria like around the year 2014. How was Nigeria then? I can tell you that Nigeria is more perfect than it is now. During the time of, I think, Goodluck Ebele Azikiwe Jonathan. Despite he's been criticized, and there's no problem with that because every leader should be criticized at the times of when his people are not seeing it right or what he's doing. It's not a problem. But then we thought that his time was the worst. Now some are saying his time was the best. If we remember, we are from 2014 that a bag of rice was 10,000 or thereabouts. I think up to 2019, 2020 or thereabout, even up to 2022, bag of rice was 26,000 or thereabout. But now ask yourself, how much is bag of rice? How much is it? Hitting 100,000. Then where are we heading to? That's the question. From where to where? You heard where we are from. So where are we heading to now? Where exactly? If you take that aside and look at the development, the improvement, the economic development, I think Nigeria was rated among the 15 developing countries economically from 2001 to 2010 to 2014, if I am not mistaken. But now go take the list. Not only economically developing nations, but Nigeria is not being appearing for long in most of the developing nations of every category, almost every category. This is something to weep. And this is the giant of Africa, remember? But the giant of Africa is not showing and proving its name. Is it only giant by name? You look at the educational sector, that's what is happening. Drastically going down. Before, children of our forefathers, it's them that they are running from the education, the Western education. But now you are with your money, with everything, but you have to follow steps. After the steps, you have to be lucky. After lucky, you have to get someone at most times. And after all the struggle, assume you've gotten it and you are there, you studied. Study finish. What is your hope? What is your aim of study? You hope for after finishing at least to be employed. Let me remind you of President Muhammad Buhari's sentence, there are no more vacancies. He said it, and it was right. It was right. No more vacancy, not in the local, no state, no national level. Everywhere is filled. Like, go and look for something to do. Farm, as he usually says. So this is our educational sector, and this is implicated to those that have finished the education. There are many of our brothers and sisters in there, and the education money is increasing drastically. And the worst part of it, some of the students are not even allowed to study freely due to the threat of abduction, as many have been abducted for the past years. Up till date, some are not being released. Then where, please, are we headed to? Please look at the inflation rate. Like the inflation rate 2014, it was 8.05. But today the inflation rate is 34.01, if I'm not mistaken. The worst of its kind in 28 years. The worst of its kind in 28 years straight. When you check and you compare, from 2014 to 2019, it was there a 3 point something increment from 8.04 to 9.01. to 9.01. I think the time it increased the most it increased up to 11.0 something. But compared to now, we are hitting 34 point something. Like, it doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound real. Then where are we heading to, please? Where exactly are we heading to? When you look at other aspects, like security, people have been abducted daily basis. 2019, it was concluded that in every day there are 14 Nigerians that are being killed. Not they are sentenced to death, not they are being killed by the unknown, perhaps those termed as gunmen, unknown gunmen. This word has been ringing in our ears for years. Everywhere you go, every news station, unknown gunmen. I pray they are known. I pray they will get to be known. So that's it. That's where we are. And when you look at our poverty rate, currently Nigeria is hitting 40.01 poverty rate. Like, this is, in a nutshell, among every 10 Nigerians, 4 are poor. Among every 100, 40 are poor. When you look at our youth, NDLA as of 2022 concluded that the 40% of youth from the age of 18, within the age of 18 to 35, are deeply into drugs. Deeply into drugs. By 2030, it's estimated that we will have youth of around 20 million that are, or to say, that will be into drugs. And these are the leaders of tomorrow. Leaders of tomorrow, 20 million of them doesn't know what they are doing, they are out of consciousness, they are out of their senses. Then tell me, please, where are we headed to? And on this drug abuse issue, did you know that we only have 250 qualified attendants that are doctors of these problems? When you divide it to 200 million Nigerians, you have one attendant to almost 800,000, or to say 800,000 people. And when we look at the side of our population, we are always growing drastically. We know that we are the populous black nation on earth. We are growing like no tomorrow. It's estimated that by 2047 we will be around 375 million, 0.25, greater than the United States of America. It's estimated that around 21,000, now we are in 2022, 20,000 and 24 years, around 21,000 years, we will be at the rate of around 1 billion people in Asia. 1 billion. This is approximately 76 years or thereabout to come. 1 billion, greater than China. 1 billion. Then, like, we are going this way, always going back, always reversing. Are we really ready to face these consequences? Are we really fit for this? Where exactly are we going to, please? When you compare, even last year, just take a year, last year and this year, compare. What you bought last year at the rate of 5 naira today is 50. People bought quantity of tomato at the rate of 250. This year they are buying it at the rate of 2,500. Like 2,500. Does that make sense to you? Fuel, you fuel your car 180, one this, one that, maximum 200. And we had a time in Nigeria, a recent time, that people fuel their car at the rate of 1,000 plus. In a year or two. Does that make sense? Where are we heading to? And if you think, okay now, everything is going the wrong way. Why? Is it that we are out of resources? Is it that we are poor? No. Okay, we are not poor. But we are always being insulted by our leaders to seek for loan to even fund our budget. If I'm not mistaken, the 2021 budget was funded by 7 trillion of debt and 4 trillion of the Nigerian money. The debt is almost twice what you put in the budget. And this is the budget that will be used to address the nation. Yeah, you will see that, hey, government is working. Of course, government is working, but on debt. And you are entitled to pay that, either directly or indirectly. So, looking at this, are we poor? We are not poor, sir. We are not. We have every resources that is entitled of every nation that has such resources to develop. We have petroleum, we have gold, we have zinc, we have bitumen, we have talc, we have all other things. Like, these are the mineral resources, not to talk about farm. And that is a huge one also. There are millions, thousands of arable land in Nigeria that have never been touched by a hole. They are there. It was concluded in 2021 that only 2% of our arable land was utilized. Only 2%. So we have a heavy land. We have every resources. But what is their benefit to us? Where are they? And what is the essence of them being there and we are seeking for debt? We are going through this a lot. Today in Nigeria, people sleep without eating. Many eat once. That's if you are lucky. you ate 2 or 3. But many it was. People ate the food of the animals. People ate leaves. Hunger is no more a story now. It is reality that we are going through. Visitors are not facing the hospitality of before, are not received well like before. Before a visitor will come and you will forward him many things like these days, you know the situation as you know it as well. People are into mess, people are dying, people are not going to school, people are starving beyond our imagination. People are intentionally stealing not because they have the mindset to steal, rather because they see it as only a source of livelihood. If he didn't take this, he might die. This is Nigeria of today. And at the same time, billions are being allocated to useless things. I say it with capitals, like I say it in caps. Useless things that have no impact, no effect to the common man of Nigeria. Who is a government? If a government is not favoring the people, then it's not a government. Because it was not there by itself, it was there by the people that pushed it. And you are there not favoring those people, then you are not a government. You know, in Nigeria, the problem we face, I do tell people this, that we are represented by our worst. Believe it or not. But analyze, check. I don't say our leaders are the worst, no. But when we weigh Nigeria, when you weigh its people, you look at our intellectuals, our professionals, our teachers, our scholars, our gifted, talented people that are stored here in Nigeria, and you look at the leaders, you'll weep and you will be surprised. How is this possible? Let me tell you the secret. Did you know how was that possible? Because the politics, or to say the election, the process that takes person to the government, into the government, to a seat of his admiration, is not that intellectuality, is not that knowledge, is not that expertise, rather money. Agree with it or not, they are buying those positions, they are investing their money. And never think of an investor to favor your interests above his. You are ranking yourself, you are deceiving yourself. As far as an investor is concerned, then his profit is the first target, his interest. Let him multiply what he put there. And they are getting it not in multiples, in much, much more than multiples. And this is the Nigeria of today. So with all this, ask yourself, where are we heading to? Well, I can say that among the problem of Nigeria, this is not up to 1%. Among the backwardness we have been facing, among the issues that we have been going through, this is not up to a single percent of it. Then okay, where exactly are we heading to? Where? Well, I'm afraid if I look at it, if I imagine it, I feel shocked. But imagine it yourself just now, like 100 years now, not 100 years so far, 10 years, 20. Continue like this, where are we headed to? So what is the solution behind all this? How did we tackle it? What is the way out? As I said earlier, our problem is not resources. Yeah, bless the resources, quite well. Undeniable. What is the problem? That misplacement of those resources. You'll take 1 billion, 100 billion on this, 100 billion on that, 100,000 billion. My people, did we really know what is a billion? I doubt if we do, including myself. Okay, so 1 billion is 1 million times 1,000. Let me make you understand a little bit of how this works. What are we crying for in Nigeria? Poverty. Poverty, huh? People need profits, people need food, people need capital, people need this. Billions, so those stuffs that are of the less minor priority. In fact, some of them have no priority. And the situation we're in. Okay, when you take a billion naira, this is the money you take. Million times thousand to those two. When you see the government or the EFCC interrogating the person about on a billion scandal, please think of this. It is a million times 1,000. 1,000 million is billion. Please, arrange this yourself, think of this yourself. We are having a billion here. When a billion naira will be divided to 1,000 people, did you know how much will that be? Each person will be entitled to 1 million naira. 1 million. This is a single billion to 1,000%. I don't know your thought, but we have 774 local government in Nigeria. We are all crying of hunger, poverty. Just look at this small estimation. You have to say among those 774,000, each local government, there will be a selection, random selection from every ward, every side of the local government of 1,000 people. Maybe in some local government giving priority to the more poor distinctions or let's say districts or something of that nature. Each local government pick 1,000 people. And for every local government, please donate to them 1 billion. Did you know that every local government will have 1,000 millionaires? 1,000 millionaires. Okay, if you give them, don't leave them on their own. Set a committee that will follow each and every one person or each and every local government to overlook, to oversee. Before you issue them that money, let them give you their business plan, their this, their that, because that money should not be, oh, maybe if you see it's going well, there might be other reimbursements. And did you know that these people that are giving 1 million, it can transform from 1 million to 1 billion in a short time if their business is being monitored, is being guided by that government, which will not be a problem. And they will employ. You can say for a person that removed that money, we give you a range of 1 year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years. You have to employ at least 50 staffs, for example, or 10 or 20 or. Please, how did you think of this? And doing this, won't the people feel that, yeah, the government is now addressing our issues directly? At times when you are thinking, you just think that, what is this government really thinking of things? You'll be seeing ways, you'll be seeing alternatives, like you'll be seeing the right channels to follow. But you'll just be thinking, maybe you are wrong. But at times you are not, you are right. They are doing the wrong things. There are those that are wrong. So how did you imagine a billion naira being shared to 1,000 people per local government? Every local government now has fresh 1,000 billionaires and millionaires. By God, I swear by God, there will be improvement. I swear it. But that money, that will be 774 billion. That money can be addressed, can be channeled to renovating office or buying vehicles or stuff like that. And if it's used like this, look at the impact. And people will Like when you do this to people, people will forget about you, will continue doing their lives, just thinking that you Castle Lemesu in Hausa, you are done with them. But they are not like comprehended. Because there is a distant barrier from the government and the citizens. A communication gap that is more than a communication gap. Let's call it a communication distance. Because it's a huge one. They don't know your condition, you don't know theirs. You only hear it in news as they hear yours. So it's high time we address this. Don't misplace our economy's priority, our resources. It is ours. Yeah, you are in Nigeria also, but we are the majority here. If you are looking at the interrogations done by the EFCC, which are few among many, because many, if you submit the resources that you are being alleged with peacefully, silently, many of them, they said that they are being disclosed. Those that are being interrogated very well are those that refuse or show their sense of arrogance. So all this money, my dear, and this money can be stolen by one person. One person. I recently heard a case that a single person is to bail himself with 10 billion. Bail only. Bail. Like bail. His entitlement of bail, he's entitled to pay 10 billion for bail. Bail. What is it that he loot? What is it that he just think with me. And those billions, you see the impact, 1,000 people per local government. Well, this is just a simple scenario. So it's high time both we and the government, including the stakeholders, because there are three people in Nigeria: stakeholders, government, and the people. Stakeholders are the ulama, the elders, the community leaders, this, that. All of us should be awakened to where are we heading to. Let's get up from this sleeping place and walk. If not, we will weep. And I don't pray that, I don't hope that. So let's address these issues. There should be a communication, a linked communication with the government. And the government should prioritize the interests of the common man first. The stakeholders should be involved in everything to represent the common man. If this is done, and we should stop voting for money. As far as we vote for a businessman, then don't challenge him when he's doing his business. He bought your vote. And making profit while he's making profit, you should stand out. I experienced a situation that myself, 500,000 was given for a vote. I believe 500,000 will not buy you a decent drink. Not a food. Decent drink. But someone can sell 500. We all think that even if we don't sell it, they will win. Who tells you? They rig when it is riggable. Election are being rigged when it's riggable. But when the distance is far, you cannot dare attempt to rig. Look at the situation of Jonathan and Buhari, 2015. I don't say Jonathan attempted to rig or something. But the distance was beyond expectation, was beyond imagination, because the poor are on this side. And even before the announcement, he called Buhari to congratulate him. We should stop thinking out of the box. And leaders should feel that we are serving, not dictating. We are not conquerors. Everyone that challenges you, you suit him. You challenge him back. You take him out. It doesn't work like that, sir. It doesn't work like that, man. You're leading. Criticisms are part of leadership. Who are we to criticize if not you? Why did you submit yourself to say that you are a leader? Another solution is, leadership is not about power. I declare this, I decide this should go, this should stay. No. You are not yourself. You are not leading yourself. You are leading 220 million people. Consultations should be done. I am deciding on this. What is your take? We are alive, or we are not dead. We are alive. We can give our opinions. And again, our parliaments should please start to work. Because I feel bad, I feel ashamed, I feel heavily shy when I look at our parliament. Because it's more or less like we don't have parliament. Even by their presence, you will look at empty seats like 3 times the occupied seats, or 4 or 5 times. Where are they? Where are they, please? They're abroad, chilling with their children and their family. We don't vote you to go and chill, sir. We don't vote you to go and chill, ma. We vote you to work, and you promised you will. So Parliament, please be back to the House, contribute to our development. Raise our issues, forward our requests. Get to your people, receive their feedback. Go tell them you are our channels. And rounding up, as I said, every government that is having problems should address it. Because there are only 2 ways. Either you address it or we wait till you leave. And there are, like a spirit now of youths is inspiring to be on those positions, which is quite good. But I usually say it, and I will continue to say it, that youthfulness is not the only requirement for you to lead, my brother. It's not the only requirement. And being you at your 20s, at your 30s, is not the entitlement required for you. Yeah, we need youth, yeah, of course. Hey, the president of Senegal, this, that, president of Burkina, this, that, Mali. Of course they are youth. But are they youths of your type? Are they on the social media like 247 like you are? Are they like just sent for 3 hours? Are they playing games for 5 hours? Are they... Just comprehend it. We need youth, but able youth, capable ones, and with respect. Don't say, I am youth, I will impeach anybody. Anybody you are talking about, they groomed your fathers, he paid your father's salary. So you do it with respect, with humbleness. And we will not elect you, we will not elect you for you being youth, rather for you being available, capable of delivery. So I encourage my fellow youth to participate, but please participate with ability. If you don't have one, gather it to the time that you set up your deal as a participation contestant. We are here to vote for you, but we will not vote for you if you are not capable. Yeah, we will not vote for you because you have black hairs around your face, not white one. No, it doesn't work that way, my brother. Go learn, groom yourself, be able. Capacity should be choked. Then you come, then we choke you our votes, and you go, and we wish you well, and you lead us well. That's the trade. So, government should please, and all the stakeholders, all of us, reason with this that we've said, know where we are from and where we are headed to, and put necessary steps in line that I have mentioned to cover us from a bad future. We deserve a good future. We deserve one, at least. We deserve one. How can the government be leading people without connecting to it? I don't comprehend. My heart, my mind doesn't understand this. And finally, on the protest issue, I would like to advise my fellow youths, compatriots, to look of the best way to exercise their activities. Protest is not in anywhere illegal constitutionally. And what we are going through deserve much more than protest. But we have to be very much careful. Very much careful. We are hearing of stories. I know many people don't want to hear that people are many countries that suffered, but it's reality. Many countries suffered as a result of protests. They are still suffering, most of them. So we should take it first Leadership should be there. And leadership not of you, the youth. Because you are youth, you cannot command me well. Let the stakeholders be involved. We will start social time, we'll finish social time, we'll go to social destination. Demand of ours will be this. If it is, then it will go amicably. And before you go to protest, I think now the government have at least know of this. So the best is not protest. We are not supporting protest because it is the best option to go. No. Because the government is so careless that it needs to be awakened. You understand? So what we are saying is, please put your delegation. I heard that some of the scholars meet with the government. Of course, that's what we need for long. So set your delegation. Let's go meet with them. Meet with them, provide solutions. That should be implemented because it shouldn't be a story, a promise that will not that will be over. No, a trusted solution that will be implemented. If that is not done and hardship continues, no any solution that is provided from now to the time of protest that is set for the protest, I cannot say anyone should sit at home and continue dying. No. But don't do what will push you to a worse condition that you are in. You have every right to exercise your minds, your feelings here. But don't go from a cold water to a hot one. Do it amicably that you will go from a hot water to a cold one. This is my advice to my fellow youth. But before that, do anything possible to meet those people and ensure that they make accomplishable promises. And please have an aim of doing this protest. Write it down, jot everything down. Our goal is this, is that. Because if you go without goal, you have nothing to achieve, then you have not time to stop. But if you go with your goal, you are aiming at this, whenever you achieve it, it's free. And know your leaders, know who to command you, know where you will begin, know where you will stop. And do it peacefully. Thank you for your listening. And I pray that these solutions, few of them indeed, will be addressed so as we know where we are heading to. Because now we don't. I personally don't know where we are heading to. When I try to imagine it, I imagine it bad, so I feel that I don't know. Let me remain like this. I don't know. So please, let's address these issues. Well, this brings us to the end of our second anniversary celebration at the El Mazum Foundation. Thank you all for your time, for your wishes, for everything. And please may our leaders, stakeholders, and we, the common man, take this into notice and work because it's a matter of urgency. Thank you very much for your time. God bless you.